I hope you all are fine and keeping up with good health. Students, I hope that yesterday's Zoom session went well. Yesterday we teachers taught you chapter number 6, squares and square roots. And I hope you understood what we taught, you understood the concept of squares and you understood the properties of square numbers also. Today we'll start exercise 6.1. But before going to that, I will first teach you something, something extra, like which is not there in your textbook. A trick I am going to teach you to find square of any two-digit number, because in this chapter there are many exercises, and every now and then you will be asked to find the square of any given number. Of course, you need to learn squares of certain numbers at least up to 30. They should be at the tip of your tongue, so that if you need it anytime, anywhere, in any question, you can quickly use it. You can quickly use your knowledge. So you have to learn it up to you have to learn the squares of numbers up to 30. But in case it is not learnt, or in case you have a problem, or up to 99, if you have to find a square of any two-digit number, then you can quickly do it by using one very easy trick. I'm going to tell this to you. So here we are actually doing chapter number 6, but right now we are not covering any part of exercise. We are learning one trick to find square of a two-digit number. Now there are very 3 easy steps, kids. 1, 2, 3 steps are there. That's all to calculate the square of any two-digit number. So step number 1. Step number 1. I have taken a two-digit number 56. Okay, I have to calculate the square of 56. That's a two-digit number. Now what you will do, step number 1 is to find the square of each digit separately. Okay, I'm repeating, step number 1 is to calculate the square of each digit of this two-digit number separately. Okay, so here what digit is there in one's place? 6. So I'll calculate its square. So square of 6 is 36, right? Now what is the digit at tens place? 5. So I'll find the square of 5. That is 25. Because it's very easy to find the square, of one-digit numbers. We learned tables also, so we know it, right? So square of 6 is 36, square of 5 is 25. This is step number 1. Step number 1 is done. Now step number 2. Here we have to calculate the square of 56. So in step number 2, we are going to multiply all 3 digits. Okay? 5 by 6, and the product will be multiplied to 2. So here 5 into 6 into 2. I am repeating what we have to do in step number 2. We have to multiply these digits. First digit, this is second, and this is third. We are going to multiply all 3. So what will be the product? 5 into 6, 30. 30 into 2 will give you 60. So this is the product of all these 3 numbers. Now the second step is complete. Okay. So step number 1, we calculated the squares of each digit separately. Step number 2, we found the product of all these 3 numbers. 2 steps are complete. Now in step number 3, we are going to add the value obtained in step 1 and the value obtained in step number 2. So now let's add. It is 25, 36. This is 2536. This complete number. Now we are going to add 60 to it. But there is one way of adding it. We will not write any digit below one's place. We leave one's place. And we will write it like this, leaving one's place empty. Okay, now let's add. That is 6, 3, then you will get 3136 is the square of 56. So this is the very first time, so I went very slowly. We'll take another number to calculate square using this trick. Okay? Children, let's take another number. Here I have taken 34, again a two-digit number. We now calculate the square of this number very quickly using the same trick. Okay. So step number 1 is writing the square of each digit separately. So here first digit is 4. I have written the square of 4, which is 16. Square of 3 is 9. Now remember, 9 is a single digit number. So I have added 0 over here to make it a 2-digit number for our convenience. Okay. So you too have to do the same thing. So these are the squares. Step number 1 is done. Step number 2, here we have to find the square of 34. So again we need to get the product of these digits. So 3 into 4, 12. 12 into 2, 24. So step number 2 is done. Now come to step number 3, where we are going to add the numbers which are obtained. This number and 24. Now remember how to add it. The process is you will not write any digit below 1's place. So first number is written here, and then leaving this empty we have written 4 into. Now after addition we will get 1156, which is the square of 34. So that's all. You have to follow only 3 steps to get to know the square of any 2-digit number. Now let's start exercise 6.1, which is absolutely based on properties of square numbers which you studied yesterday, right? Few properties you studied yesterday and few concepts and few properties we are going to do today. So now here we are starting exercise 6.1. I have taken first question of the exercise. The question is, what will be the unit digit of the square of following numbers? Okay, I have taken 3 parts of this question, though there are some other parts also which you will practice on your own. Okay, so those are the practice questions. I have taken 3 over here, right? So what they are saying, they are asking us to tell the unit digit of the square of these numbers. These are the 3 different numbers and we can find their squares. How do we find the square of any number? We simply multiply a number by itself to get to know its square, right? We only need to tell the unit digit of the square of these numbers. So what we are going to do, for that we should know the unit digit of the squares of these single digit numbers. So here I have written all the numbers starting from 1 to 10 and I have written their squares also. Okay, so now like here the square of 1 is 1. So what is the unit digit of the square of 1? 1 only. Now let's talk about 3. So the square of 3 is 9. So what is the unit digit of the square of 3? Of course 9. Let's take 7 over here, right? So what is the square of 7? Square of 7 is 49. Okay. Now what is the unit digit of the square of 7? Yes, it is 9. Now if I talk about 8, the square of 8 is 64. So what is the unit digit of the square of 8? It is 4. Right? So in this way I have written it. Now using this only we will find the unit digit of the square of these numbers. Okay. Now how we are going to do it? Look at first number. It is 272. Now what is the unit digit over here? Its unit digit is 2. Its unit digit is 2. Now what is the square of 2? Square of 2 is 4. Okay. So it's the unit digit of the square of 2 is 4. Therefore, the unit digit of the square of this number will also be 4. So 4 is your answer. So using the unit digit of the square of this unit digit, we can answer what can be the ending digit or unit digit of the given number. Now here another number is 799. Now what is unit digit over here? Unit digit is 9. Okay. Now what is the square of 9? Square of 9 is 81. 81. So what is the unit digit of the square of 9? Unit digit of square of 9 is 1. So therefore, the unit digit of the square of this complete number will also be 1. Okay, now let's talk about third number. What is the unit digit of this third number? Unit digit of the third number is 25. Okay, oh, sorry, it's 5. It's 5. So what is the square of 5? Square of 5 is 25. Now what is the unit digit of the square of 5? It is 5. Therefore, the unit digit of the square of this big number, of this 5-digit number, will also be 5. So that's very easy, kids. You too have to try the rest of the parts of this question number 1 of exercise 6.1. Okay, students, exercise 6.1, I'm starting question number 7 now, because the rest parts of the question were completed already in Zoom session yesterday along with the properties of square numbers. Okay, so we are going to do question number 7. Again, let me tell you that this is based on one of the properties of square numbers. Okay, so now what is the question? Question is, without adding, find the sum. Sum. We need to add the numbers but without adding them. Don't you find it funny? Yes. Actually, we are going to use one property. Okay. So there is one property. This is property, children. Property of square numbers, which says that the sum of first n odd natural numbers is always equal to n square. Okay, I am repeating. The sum of first n odd natural numbers is n square. It means that if you take few odd natural numbers, or rather I would say consecutive, one after another odd numbers starting from 1. Make sure the odd numbers start from 1. So if you take certain odd numbers from 1, say I have written the first part of the question here. So here 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. These are the consecutive odd numbers. Also the odd numbers are starting from 1. Now how many odd numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 odd numbers I have taken. They are consecutive. They are starting from 1. Now if I need to find the sum of all these odd numbers, I really don't need to calculate it by writing it in notebook or by on fingers and all. You don't need to do so. You just have to count the number of odd numbers, consecutive odd numbers from 1 you have taken. So I have taken 5 odd number over here. So I will simply find the square of 5. Okay. Now what is the square of 5? Square of 5 is 25. So 5 consecutive odd numbers are there from 1, starting from 1. So I have found the square of 5, which is 25. So second is, now come to second part of the question. We are given certain odd numbers. They are consecutive. They are starting from 1. Let's see how many odd numbers are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 consecutive first odd natural numbers are there. So to find their sum without calculation, we will simply find the square of 10. So here I have written square of 10. Now what is the square of 10? Square of 10 is 100. So children, 100 is the sum of all these odd numbers, all these odd consecutive natural numbers starting from 1. So that's how you can quickly find the sum of, first n odd natural numbers by just finding the square of n. Okay, now question number 9. I have written question number 9 over here. That's again very interesting question, children, and we are going to solve this question very quickly. What is the question? How many numbers lie between squares of the following numbers? Okay, we have to find the numbers which will lie between the square of 12 and 13. Okay, we are given two numbers. We can observe easily that these two are consecutive numbers. Okay, we have to find the numbers which are going to lie between their squares. Square means square of 12 is 144. Square of 13 is 169. Now these are the squares of these two consecutive numbers, and they are asking us to calculate the numbers which are going to lie. So we don't need to count it on fingers as it is going to take a lot of time. So we have a short trick for this. Okay, what we are going to do, assume this second number. Okay, quickly, if you have to find the numbers which lie between the squares of two consecutive numbers, then how can you do that? You just have to twice the first number. Okay, just twice the first number. What is your first number over here? 12. So twice of 12. 2 times of 12 will give you 24. So 24 numbers will lie between 144 and 169. You can count it on fingers, then you will realize that yes, of course 24 numbers are there. So you just need to observe one thing, that numbers given to you should be consecutive. If I say that find the numbers between 12 and 14, so 12 and 14 are not consecutive. So this trick, this property will not work over there. Okay, so this is for the squares of the numbers which are consecutive. Now come to the second part, children. We have 25 and 26. Again we see that they are consecutive. Assume 25 to be the first number. Assume 26 to be the second number. Okay, I need to find how many numbers are going to lie between square of 25 and square of 26. So for that, I am just going to double the first number or twice the first number. So twice the first number, that is 2 into 25, and it will give you 50. So 50 numbers will lie between the squares of 25 and 26. So that's how you can quickly get your answers. So students, I hope I have covered all the properties. We have completed this exercise. Now you have to practice rest of the parts in your math notebook. Tomorrow again we are going to have a Zoom session. If you get any doubt, you can put it forth tomorrow in our class. Thank you so much.